It is up, everyone. This is Captain Eon speaking. SRxun S for those that like to keep it official. And ultimately is your brother Zun. And my hope for you, my forever family in Jesus, is that from my sharing of the relationship and the walk that I have with the Lord, you would be encouraged, strengthened, and may we all overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our each individual testimonies. Here's mine, or at least some of mine. So in today's treatment, chapter 33, verse 12, stood out to me for a couple reasons, which I'm not going to go into detail in this share. But the first one was that the tribe of Benjamin was referred to as beloved. Now, this conjures up memories of God referring to his bride as his beloved, which also is his church. And that made me think, because I remembered that the tribe of Benjamin was almost wiped out. I believe it was this tribe that was involved with the atrocities in Egypt when it came to the man and his concubine. I believe I may be jumping ahead, but putting it all together, this is kind of where my thought process went. And then also I remembered that I believe in the same part that, well, in a different section, that Saul was from the tribe of Benjamin, and we know how that all turned out. So I was really surprised that Benjamin got this distinction. And of course, this is just on the surface. I haven't really gone into detail and studied it at the point of you hearing this. So again, that's the reason why I'm not going to get too much in depth on these points without further. But really, that led me to the second part of verse 12, where after he called them beloved and talked about how God surrounds him all day, he talked about how God dwells between his shoulders. And that is the main idea, because, you know, that phrase there, between his shoulders, when I first heard that, it reminded me of, you know, the infilling of his spirit, the salvation that we partake of today, where God has made himself one with us. For me, it occurs between the shoulders. You know, we think about it. He dwells in our hearts and minds and soul and spirit. But then I thought it personally, when it comes to the male of the human species, that, and you know, I didn't mean to get on this, but I think I will, because it goes along the lines of, you know, the language is being changed in order to, you know, reshape the landscape of our minds, and ultimately that results in a different society. And everybody now is, you know, cross-dressing and identifying as this, and you know, there's no lines anymore. But no matter if a man chops off his penis, and has, whatever surgery involved and gets breast implants, or on the other side, a woman, I don't even know if it's possible, but I wouldn't doubt it, has some surgery to fill in her hole and put a pole on there, and take her breasts off, or whatever the case. No matter how you dress up on the outside, to the core of us never changes. I said something before that no matter what you call something, or what someone may choose to identify something as, that does not change what it is. Perception is just that. And ultimately, where I'm getting at is the reason that people can dig up bones from how long ago and identify them as a male and a female is the way that God created male and female. Typically, a male skeleton shoulders are wider than the hips, and on the vice versa, a woman's skeleton, her hips are wider than the shoulders generally. And that's usually what I learned, how they identify the bones. Now, of course, I'm sure there's more involved things or whatever, but this is what I came to and I just throw this in there. Maybe I shouldn't, but I am. This is probably just in fantasy, but say 2,000 years from now, and of course this is just pure fiction. But whatever people are digging up and finding the remnants of this society, they're probably gonna say, what was wrong with this society? Because they're gonna find the bones and identify them as male and female, but they're gonna see all these plastic parts and augmented pieces and say, what was going on with this society? And I'll leave it at that. But the main reason why I actually touched on that point was having to do when it came to the male, and I referred to it myself, with the between the shoulders, seeing that my shoulders are wider, basically the widest part of my frame. Everything occurs between my shoulders. Everything. All organs, everything is happening between my shoulders. My brain is between my shoulders, heart, all the body parts between the shoulders. And to know that God dwells between the shoulders, it just made me think and hope in gratitude and thanksgiving that God is involved in every aspect of His beloved. Because He's between the shoulders, everything about me He's involved in. And without that, without Him, I would be nothing. He gave me everything between the shoulders, including the shoulders, and He blesses it. And I'm so grateful, so undeserving, but so grateful. Oh, how He loves us. Caption this.